Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. So this came out March 22nd, 91. This came out less than a year, technically, than the first one. The first one was March 30th, 90, something like that. Producers wanted to get this out as soon as they could, fearing that the Ninja Turtles, fame would be dying out, even though it's not possible because the TV series ran into I think it was like 10 years or something like that. Incredible. So, well, the original, but then every 5 years or so, there's a new Ninja Turtles show based on the original 1984 comic. And that franchise has been going on for quite some time as well. So this particular sequel film is a sequel to the first film, based on the comics, but also slightly based on the cartoon. And then new things were brought in as well. The character of Kino is brought in. Love Kino. Kino is a badass martial artist pizza delivery boy. Wonderful. Love Kino. He's awesome. So Kino is in this, but Casey Jones is not in this. And they created this character of Kino specifically for the film. And then you have certain things, which for instance, the Ooze, right? The origin of the Ooze is actually from these aliens who came to Earth and then created it comic wise. But then in this they explain it that there's this company called TGRI who inadvertently created the Ooze. It was a mistake, and they tried to get rid of it. And so that's how one canister happened to get into the sewer 15 years ago that the Turtles and Splinter happened to walk across, which then brought them to life. So the Secret of the Ooze storyline is more so a sequel to the first film, 90 film. Rather than bringing aliens into the mix, they explained it as just a scientific mistake in regards to a company that happened to be around Manhattan. That's how the thing came about. So April O'Neil is also a different actress. This is a different actress than she reprises her role. This particular actress reprises her role in the third live-action Ninja Turtles film, which is a time-traveling film, which is not as good as these. And this is my favorite out of the three, just because of how fun the Turtles are. They're not as dark and brooding as the first one is, and the first one has comedy to it, but this is very light, if that makes any sense. It's entertaining in the sense of they keep constantly cracking jokes at each other, and they're whimsical 15-year-old kids, right? It's entertaining from that teen perspective rather than a brooding older teen perspective. And it's fine either way. First film is a great, iconic, classic, nostalgic film, but the second film is my favorite, especially the last 15 minutes of this film. Is Vanilla Ice is singing his ninja rap song with the Ninja Turtles, or having a perfectly executed choreographed musical number at the end. It's just wild, having a whole club scene dedicated to the Turtles fighting Toka and Razor, who were given Ooze by Shredder, who's back from the dead, back from the garbage dump. Some Ooze that they then that the Foot Clan then stole from TGRI, and they stole the Professor as well. Fed a wolf and Snapping Turtle some Ooze, brought them up. Razor and Toka were not technically a part of the comics, were not technically a part of the cartoon. They were made for this film, but then they were introduced into, I think it's season 7, something like that, of the original cartoon, because they were so popular in regards to marketing, in regards to toys, in regards to fandom. So it's just fun watching things grow in a franchise where you can have a different iteration and then bring something new to it, and then another iteration later keeps that same thing going. It's interesting. It's interesting watching things change, but all for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles glory. The abandoned subway station that they happen to be in is based on the City Hall train station that's abandoned in Manhattan. So that was a pretty neat aesthetic to it. The constant pizza eating, the fighting, the dancing of ninja rap, the go ninja, go. Love it. The soundtrack is absolutely iconic in the Ninja Turtles franchise, and it's just so wonderful to have the hip-hop, the rap music, the genre, and sometimes later on in the punk and the rock genre as well, all of it coming together down the line, all of it coming together for these cowabunga turtles that are just skating, laughing, having a grand old time, playing pranks on each other, just having good old brotherly boy fun. And it's just fun watching them have fun. And many reviews ago, I think it was during a Hotel Transylvania review many years ago when we discussed the Hotel Transylvania franchise. I was saying how I love watching monsters dance. That there's always anytime there's a movie where there's a party or dance thing going on and there's just a group of people or monsters just getting together and dancing, monsters dancing is just, I absolutely love the aesthetic. And I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't figure out where it started, why I love it so much, why I always found it so entertaining. It comes from this film. And I was 1 year old when this film came out, so watching it as a wee little child, obviously I'm not comprehending things at 1 year old watching turtles dance. If my parents actually showed it to me when I was 1 year old, I don't think so. I remember seeing this mid to late 90s with my brother, and my brother wasn't born until 92, so we had to have been old enough to consciously watch this together, playing with our Ninja Turtle toys while watching this, eating handfuls of goldfish as we always did, using that as our power ups to then fight the bad guys. We had a grand old time. So, this is the film where this comes from. Watching the turtles and the snapping turtle Racer and the wolf Toka, watching them all fight each other in the club while Vanilla Ice is dancing and singing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go," and the Foot Clan going about. This is, and then the turtles eventually dancing. This is where it comes from. This is where my love of monsters dancing comes from. It comes from this film. And it's interesting because I could not for the life of me figure out why I liked this aesthetic so much. Couldn't figure it out. We talked about it many times, and I couldn't figure out where it comes from. And to see this scene, getting flashbacks of hanging out with my brother as kids, playing with our toys, watching this, but then also getting the flashback of, not even a flashback, just a realization of like that aha moment. It clicked. The light bulb went on. It was this is where it comes from. This is where it comes from. I found the origin of this aesthetic, this particular aesthetic that I'm obsessed with. Absolutely love it. And that's why I love the Zombies franchise so much, Disney Zombies franchise. It's a bunch of monsters singing and dancing constantly. Love it. I love the aesthetic. Monsters dancing, bro. Monsters singing and dancing. It's just wonderful because it's something you don't expect. You don't expect, when you see a monster, you don't expect them to sing and dance. You don't do it. But then the age-old Teen Wolf phrase, "Not all monsters do monstrous things." So it's a wonderful, beautiful concept and saying to then cherish, because what makes a monster a monster? Just because you're a monster doesn't mean you are doing monstrous things. No. Do monsters who dance, are they monstrous? No. They're just dancing. Unless it's evil dancing. Who knows? Anyway, Secret of the Ooze, very entertaining, very quick, music filled everywhere. I'm considering this a musical. I don't care what anybody else tells me. Love watching monsters dance. On to the next review. Mahalo.